welcome to the Lisa Goodman Show today, and I have Kat Cora with me. I'm massively excited. She is one of the first female celebrity chefs in the country, and she has accomplished a lot in 20 years. I have been watching her for years. I'm massively impressed with what she's been able to do. She's actually a force to be reckoned with in a very good, positive way. So I'm excited to have you.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on. I know. Thank you. This is great.
Tell me, how this all really started. I mean, you were into you were saying exercise and physiology.
Right.
Wellness
was a big part of my life starting at the age of 19 because I really had gone off to my first year of college, my first semester. We all gained weight that first semester. I don't know what it is about college. I think it's just being away, not having your mom cooking for you anymore, whatever it is.
It's the rite of passage.
It is. I think it's almost, it's like a coming of age. You have to get that to know where you're going after. But, and that really, but it did kickstart me in saying, you know what, I don't want to be unhealthy. I don't want to be overweight. I want to be vibrant. Mm-hmm. And so I started on the road immediately of trying to turn that all around. It just clicked for me at a really early age.
And so it wasn't a health issue. It was more weight and more just like brain fog, probably not sleeping well, all those typical.
Just being healthy because I was an athlete in junior high and high school and a cheerleader and all that. I kind of parlayed both of those things together. But it was really just about being healthier and more vibrant and feeling good. And so I really started on that road of health and wellness at a very early age. And in Mississippi, where I'm from, which it was not the norm.
No.
It was not something that had been accepted. It wasn't this big movement of health and wellness that we see now. It was a place that
even back when you did in LA, it wasn't like.
Of course, like anywhere in the country, it wasn't a big health and wellness movement back at that time. And so, so age 19, I just started getting on this giant kick of I want to be healthier. I started health and wellness. I went to college and got a degree in exercise physiology, a minor in nutrition and biology because I thought I really wanted to be pre-med. I wanted to go pre-med, so I was trying to get all the prerequisites, but then it ended up being in sports medicine, and which I loved because it kind of the health and wellness aspect went along with what I was. The road that I was on already.
Exactly.
The path that I was starting down. So after college, though, I always loved restaurants. I always loved food, and I always loved that atmosphere. My godfather was a restaurateur. My grandfather had restaurants.
Okay.
And so that vibe was always in my DNA.
Did you cook while you're growing up at all?
I did cook a lot. I grew up in a Greek-American household. Okay. In Mississippi.
Oh, whoa.
So two giant, one's a Mediterranean diet and one is a complete opposite, which is good, old Southern food.
Yeah.
And so I cooked a lot. My dad was Greek, and my mom was an Air Force brat, so she'd lived everywhere in the world, Tokyo, Honolulu, all over the place. And so she really cooked eclectically, but she loved the Mediterranean style of cooking. So she really embraced that. So we had a lot of that in our home, steamed artichokes and lean meats and fruits and almonds and good stuff.
Right.
So it really was, in my DNA to be cooking all the time. And I loved that and fell in love with it. And my mom said, why don't you go to culinary school? So I said, I met Julia Child.
Willingly?
I did go willingly.
Yeah, okay. So
I was trying to figure out what area of restaurants I wanted to be in because you have to understand this is pre-celebrity chef phenomenon. There was no celebrity chefs. The only cooking shows were PBS. So I knew Jacques Pepin and Julia Child and the Galloping Gourmet. And that was it. The Food Network didn't exist then.
That takes us back, way back.
Way back. I'm aging myself now. But
I remember them.
Yeah. So I went to, Julia Child was coming to Mississippi for a book signing. So I said, I'm going to go. I really want to meet her and see if I can have a conversation with her about where to go to culinary school.
Did you?
And I did. I was able to have a conversation with her. And she said, you should go to the Culinary Institute of America. It's in Hyde Park, New York. And so I applied the next day, and I was so excited. So I really felt like at that point I'd found my path.
Yeah.
And I went to culinary school, and I was able to meet her later and see her again several times. And then went to France and cooked with 2 3-star Michelin chefs, which was really brutal because that was at a time when women were not allowed at all in kitchens. So that was the glass ceiling that I felt like I broke. Right away, that even a lot of men and a lot of the guys wouldn't do because it was very tough.
It was intimidating.
Very intimidating, very tough. And so came back and yeah, I just started my career.
And how did how did the Iron Chef start? How did the shows?
Well, I think, you know, I was opening restaurants for other people. I opened a restaurant with Michael Chiarello in San Francisco Bay Area, and it became a huge success. I was a partner then, executive chef, and I did start it in Napa Valley first, and came from New York to Napa Valley, and then ended up in the San Francisco Bay Area opening this restaurant.
Right.
And during that time, somewhere along the line, I did a local show, just a little local show in San Francisco. And I said, I just discovered that, oh my God, I mean, I got bit by the bug, like the TV
This
bug.
is
Like,
fun.
this is fun. I know how to do it.
Right. And it was
you know,
easy.
it was easy.
Yeah.
It came easy. It came natural. And so I took that tape, and this was back at a time when Food Network was just starting. And so I took that tape and I sent it into Food Network. I said, can I have a copy of that tape? I'm going to send it to Food Network. And somebody found it, one of the developers, and they called me, and I did a couple of auditions. I did a couple of show appearances, and it happened very quickly. And then they came to me and said, we want you to audition for co-hosting this show with Rocco DiSpirito called Melting Pot.
Right.
And I went and auditioned, and I got the job. And it was literally, all this happened like in a month and a half.
Oh my
It was
goodness.
so quick.
So Melting Pot was before the Iron Chef?
Iron Chef.
Okay.
So I did several shows. I
Okay.
did several. So I started the Food Network in 1999. And so I started doing it. And then 2005, they called me. I'd written my first cookbook.
Right.
I did my first commercial on television. And then I got called to do Iron Chef.
Okay.
And
Iron Chef ran 10 years?
like it ran
Or
for
more.
12, 13
Okay.
seasons. So yeah, it just ended. So it was about 10 years. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's still obviously a cult classic because people still watch
everybody knows
it.
you from that.
And it was great because it really was, again, breaking a glass ceiling. And I felt like had done that multiple times in my career, you know, from being inducted, the first female inducted to the Culinary Hall of Fame, to Iron Chef, to being one of the first women to go to France. And so it was really, for me, you know, I felt like I had an obligation as a role model to really get out there and
That's what I was going to ask
help
you.
push things forward.
So what was that part in you, or what was in you that made you push that glass ceiling? Like, you know?
Well, it was interesting. I think I was at the right place in this industry, in the culinary industry, at the right time. It was really before Rachel Ray, Giada, who are all, you know, buddies of mine.
Right.
But before a lot of women started cooking, you know, it was at the time when I started, it was just Emerald, Bobby Flay, it was Mario, it was all the guys and me. And so it was really a time for me to, and many women hadn't been on cooking shows except Julia.
Yeah.
She was really the one who, you know, opened the door for people like myself to come through.
Right.
So it was really really a perfect time for me in that industry because it was a lot of doors were beginning to open or, you know, for women. And I was one of the first ones to go through a lot of those doors. And it was just a really great timing in a lot of ways.
I'm sure it wasn't easy.
And hard work.
Yeah,
No,
I was going to say, it was
well,
really,
the thing is that there was a lot of hard work that goes into that because I would have never become an Iron Chef. The reason they picked me over Rachel or Giada is because I'd cooked in France and I'd cooked in the hardest kitchens in America and the world, really. I had the TV chops and the cooking chops and the credentials to be an Iron Chef. And so it was really those types of things. It was a lot of
hard work getting
to get to that
place.
point. And then it was just like, you
and
know,
when the doors open,
woo,
you were
the
ready.
doors open. I was ready. You know, the planets all aligned, and I was like, yeah, I just slid right in. Just sailed right in. But and then it's a lot of work staying up there.
Yeah,
staying up at that place where, you know, again, it's about being a role model. It's about being relevant, you know, in any industry you're in, and it's about staying fresh, you know, to your fan base and really gathering new fans.
How do you do that? How do you stay fresh? How do you stay relevant?
Well, I have an amazing fiance who also happens to be the CEO of our company.
I know her.
Nicole, you know her very well. She's pretty amazing, and she's done it for many artists before me. You know, Lady Gaga, Usher, Mary J. Blige. So she blew up so many artists.
Right.
And for me to be able to come in and for us to work together has been a dream because we looked at each other and I had this, you know, this whole skill base. She had that amazing skill base. And we're like, why are we going to make money for other people? Let's build our own company. So we have. And that she helps, you know, it's really about having people around you, surrounding yourself with people who really care. And care about you and
make it safe and make it,
she's the one, like she's the gatekeeper of everything. So it's like, and I know that no one's going to take care of me better. No one's going to want to see me shine more, just like I do for her. So
Exactly.
that is really, so anyone out there who's like, how do I do that? It's like
Yeah.
really surround yourself with the best people who have the best intentions for you.
Yeah.
Because not everybody does have the good intentions for you. So
Right.
it's like really be cautious about your orbit. I always talk about, we talk about keeping our orbit really small and tight and healthy.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so it's not just about healthy in your body, it's about
Right.
healthy in your surroundings. And so that's been really.
You're talking about
me.
healthy energy, like
Healthy
that
energy.
that is really crucial. That's really supportive.
Yeah,
and-
it's the vibrational energy in around you that's super important, you know,
Right.
for your soul and for your who you are.
Where do you think food and cooking and all of this is going? Like, do you think, I mean, are we going,
Interesting.
yeah, I mean, are we going back to more home cooking?
I think so, but I
Or-
think they're going back to more home cooking with high technology.
Uh-huh.
You know, with and approachable technology. So I'm doing a lot of panels. I'm doing a lot of talks. I'm
Okay.
starting to take on create products that are that are smart touch, that are all high technology, but approachable and easy to use, and
Okay.
that's the key.
Okay.
And multifunction, and it's all about health and wellness.
Right.
It has to be something that is around health and wellness for us to embrace it, and so that's really important in our world.
Right.
And I think that's where cooking is going back to that, but we're making it, the technology is making it easier for the home cook to
that.
cook like a chef.
Right.
You know,
Right.
really to up their game and cook like a chef, but in a
Yeah.
healthy way. I think that's
So
important.
when you say healthy way, what does that entail?
Could be, yeah.
Just the right kind of foods, right? Like introducing, like cooking with the real food and
Whole foods.
whole foods.
Foods that don't come out of a box in a package, and you know, unless it's something that's a healthy product that's been, you know, because I'm not against, you know, spinach that's in a baby spinach that's in a bag,
Right,
something
right.
like that, because we also want to make it it make sense. It has to
Exactly.
make sense for the everyday busy mom. I mean, Nicole and I have 6 boys
Right.
under the age of 14.
Right.
So we have to be able to, we have to be able to cook
Yeah.
and it be realistic.
Yeah.
So you want to keep it approachable, realistic, but healthy. And like you said, it's whole foods. It's what you're cooking with. It's the technique you're cooking. So if you're pressure cookering something, or you're slow cooking something, or you're air frying something, if you're, you know, grilling something, those are healthy techniques that keep it's low fat, low
Right.
calorie, and keep the nutrition in the food.
Right. So you've had to stay healthy because to keep up the stamina of everything you're doing
Yes.
and everything you're
Yeah.
going to be doing, right? Like what are
Absolutely.
some of your tricks to stay healthy and strong? Other than Nicole, which I realize,
Yeah.
who's a
She's-
major support. I'm sure
yeah.
the boys also are just a great support system.
Well, I mean, I think health
you.
and wellness is a major focus in our life,
Right.
and eating cleanly. And so I exercise every day.
You do.
So I do I love to outdoor cycle, which I haven't done in a while.
Right.
But I'd love to cycle. I love CrossFit. So I do a boot camp
Okay.
in Santa Barbara. We do, you know, we'll do Soul Cycle. We do
Right.
cycling. You know,
So more
every
high
day I work
intensity?
out on something.
Okay.
You know, I do a cardio and I do some light weights to keep me toned.
Yeah.
So I do different, whether it's, you know, things that I do with weights, or it's other exercises that keep me toned, you know,
Right.
things like that, which is
Right.
really great in CrossFit because it does kind of a circular workout. So you
Right.
get all of that in one workout. But
Great for the brain.
it's great for the brain. Great for the brain. It
Yeah.
helps him mentally. You know, if I don't work out, or if Nicole will be like, you should go to the gym. Yeah,
She
go
knows.
take a run.
She
Go take a run,
notices.
honey.
Right.
Because it's just
Yeah.
good. It's those endorphins that I need to stay kind of stay balanced for
Yeah.
me, and that's what I think everybody needs.
Mhm.
You know, exercise. I always say you can't exercise off a bad diet.
No.
So it's diet. It's
Yeah.
how you
Well,
eat.
how-
I wouldn't
what
say
is your
diet. I don't
diet?
mean diet in the word diet,
Yeah,
because I
I
want
know
people
what
to
you mean.
mistake that. You know what
Real
I mean.
food.
Real
whole
food,
foods, just what
healthy
you're
food,
talking
eating
about.
cleanly, things like that. So in the morning, a sample, a menu would be, you know, we'll soak oats and almond milk, and like unsweetened almond milk, and we'll put berries and chia and flaxseed on it, and you know, maybe a little bit of agave or something, just something, you know, give it a little sweetness. Or
Right.
we'll have an egg white omelet with sautéed mushrooms and spinach,
Okay.
something quick and easy.
Right.
And
Lots of
a
veggies
little
in
avocado,
this.
a lot of wasa bread, like
Right.
a lot of wasa toast with some avocado on it, things like that. So lower carb, higher protein, good fats,
Right.
in moderation.
Right.
And then lunch will be like a really nice salad with some grains and some good veggies in it. And then we'll have a heavy we'll have a high protein dinner with
Okay.
salad, or maybe it's edamame, kind of a quinoa edamame with some salmon or chicken on it.
Right.
Something that's
Right.
just keeping it really closely washed and clean. Or we'll just
Right.
do a green shake, a power shake. That's what I had this morning. I
That's
had a green power
actually,
shake.
that was my
It
next question.
fantastic.
Any juicing, any smoothies?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, smoothies for me though are
Okay.
not full of. I always tell people, please, watch your juices.
Yeah.
Watch adding. So
What,
when
that
someone
sugar?
has, watch the sugar, even the
Mhm.
natural sugars and the fructose.
Right.
You have to watch. So for me, if I have a green power drink, my base is water. So I'll do water,
Really?
kale, spinach, but then I have
No
some
nut milk.
berries, and I might do an
Yeah.
almond milk nut. Almond milk every once in a while,
Right.
but lots of ginger, because
Mhm.
ginger's so good for you. So ginger and berries and a little bit of banana and some, protein.
Right.
So
Do you have a specific protein powder you love? Or is it hard to mention something specific?
It's kind of hard to mention, yeah.
I know.
Nicole's looking at me like,
Don't do that.
like
Right. I know.
she's going, no, I'm not doing that.
Don't be mentioning anything here.
Don't mention anything unless I can pay
So I
you.
was just going to ask you about restaurants.
I'm
and,
kidding.
yeah.
She's looking at me.
So do you do any meditation or yoga or any slow stuff to keep your mind?
I love yoga.
Right.
I don't do it as much as I like to do it,
Uh-huh.
but I love meditation even more. Like
Mhm.
for me, meditation is so key. It's helped me in my life so many times
Right.
because I have like a monkey brain. Like it's just constantly swirling
Right.
and going.
And there's
it's,
a lot of
you know,
ideas.
A lot of ideas,
Yeah.
a lot of energy. It's like bright light kind of brain. And
Right.
so for me to slow things down and to really come to a place of balance, meditation is really, really key.
Right.
Even more so than yoga, although yoga is fantastic too for toning and just that time,
I
reflecting
know.
that me time and just
Right.
taking that,
Going back inside.
going inside because it's
Yeah.
an inside job.
Right. Because I know we're like when you have so many ideas swirling around your head, it's sort of out of body.
You probably
a
know.
bit.
You
Yeah,
know.
no, I am like that
yeah,
too.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my
High
God, I wanna-
octane.
Yeah.
It's like bring it down.
Right, bring it
like,
down.
Pump the brakes a little
Right,
bit. Yeah.
exactly.
Exactly.
So I know that you're pumping the brakes a little bit, but not very much.
Not much.
So the future right now, what does that look like? for you?
Oh, I mean,
what do you want it? What are you hoping to? I know you're getting married soon, which
yes.
is the most incredible.
We're on the
experience.
countdown of 4 weeks.
I
So
know.
yeah, April 21st. So we're
Wow,
so excited.
congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's
And will there be a honeymoon?
magical. Yeah, we're going to
Okay.
the Maldives.
Oh, very nice.
So
okay.
we're going there, and so that's going to be beautiful.
Yeah,
So we're going to
yeah.
get some time off, and
And then coming back, I'm sure you have stuff on the schedule.
Yeah.
What are things that you're looking to accomplish the rest
well,
of the year?
we're going into some producing as
Okay.
well. So we're producing some shows and creating some shows as well. There's an animated show in the works. There's a kind of an adult swim show in the works, animated. There's a couple of
Oh,
great show ideas that we
Okay.
have as far as TV broadcast, and
Yeah.
then obviously we want to do some digital, and so
Yeah.
it's a little bit, we're playing in all the multimedia areas, and
Okay.
that's been really great. I've definitely been doing some voiceover. We're talking about breaking into some feature film
Okay.
work. So
That's
so yeah,
awesome.
things
Oh my
things
God,
that for me,
Kat, that's-
it's about taking it out of the comfort zone of what I've
Yeah.
always done and
Yeah.
trying new things, and
Yeah.
that's something I've always wanted to try. So
Right.
we're working in that, and
Are there any more cookbooks or
definitely
they're
another
always-
cookbook.
Okay.
And definitely we're talking to our agent now, talking about working on a book now.
Right. Okay.
Because it's been a couple of years since I did
Since
my
the last one?
memoir.
Right.
It's been 3 years, and so usually 3 years is a good
Is that
a good benchmark for me. Because
Mhm.
books, as you know, are a process. They take 18 months,
Yep.
and it's your soul, like you're putting your soul on the
You're
pages, and
birthing.
so you're birthing it. It's like a restaurant too. We have more
Right.
restaurants. We have 12
Yeah.
restaurants now. We're got more on the horizon. 300
Wow.
pop-up restaurants around the country. So it's busy, and
Oh
products.
my goodness.
And products.
Kat.
We got to come
That's-
out with some new products.
Yes.
Definitely some technology smart products.
Right.
So working
Right.
on that. So we have a lot going on. It's fun. But we're
Mhm.
having the best time. I mean, I get to work with my best friend every
Mhm.
day,
Right.
and we're
And you get to work
so
on great
creative,
projects,
and we get to
like
work on the most
Things
exciting.
you want to.
Yeah, and we're dabbling in some. And Nicole obviously gets hit up to do music videos all the time because
Right.
she's so creative and so amazing and brilliant in that area. So
Yeah.
we get to cherry pick that. So it's been fun to just be able to create our own destiny,
Yeah.
if you will.
We'll create your corporation.
Create our
your
empire.
Company. Yeah, your empire.
Our empire. I like empire. I like that word a lot.
I want to be part of this empire.
I like that word, empire.
You really do glow. I mean,
thank you.
I know that it's, you do live your passion and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing in this world. So
thank you
it
so
is
much.
Pretty remarkable and incredible to watch you and see like
that.
where you're going.
Yeah, I do. It is exciting, and it's so. I feel so blessed that I get to work. I get to do what my purpose is.
Yeah.
I get to stay on my path and what my purpose is meant to be. And sometimes that changes. It changes courses all the time. But it's about listening to who you are, your instinct, your voice, and following that, and people that love you and that have your back. And so it's
can help you stay listening to your voice
and help you stay grounded.
Yeah.
And
have you always listened to it? Have you always had a good gut intuition?
I've always had an amazing intuition. Have I always listened to it? No. But I've learned when I haven't. I've learned tremendous. I've learned tremendous lessons and wisdom from those moments.
Yeah.
And that's what's important.
I know.
Whether you take a risk, it's always about taking that risk no matter what. Take that step. Sometimes you're not always listening to the voice that you should be listening to, but you learn a tremendous amount from mistakes.
I know.
And
we all
missteps.
need to make the mistakes.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
not to be afraid of those mistakes.
Not to be afraid.
Right.
It's about changing courses and always listen. But it is, I have learned as I've matured and grown and evolved to listen to that voice more because it's usually right.
Right. Always.
It's usually always right.
Yeah.
It's always right.
Right. I know. I always, when clients come in to see me, and if by the end of the session, they're telling me what they need and what they like, what they don't like. It's fascinating. I'm like, you didn't even need me.
Yeah.
You know exactly what, but we just kind of get off course. But when we're on course, we're on fire.
But you're a great role model, so people, want to bounce that off of you, and it's good to have someone that they can bounce off of because sometimes, you're in a place in your life. I've been in a place in my life where I wasn't sure, had doubts, and so it's amazing to have a friend or your partner who you can check in with.
Yeah.
And check in, and then you can go, oh, that instinct was right. So next time I'm going to listen to that voice.
Well, I ask all my guests if they had to sum up their mission in one word, what would yours be?
I think my mission is to teach, is to be a teacher. I've been taught I've been given so many gifts.
Yeah.
And that can be in multiple ways.
Exactly.
That can be in so many ways. But it's something that I feel like has always been, whether it's our children, whether it's my partner and I'm learning from her, whether it's friends and family, whether it's life that's in session all the time, you're learning from, and then you're able to take that forward and pay it forward.
Right. Did you ever imagine you'd be where you're at today?
Not when I was
Mississippi.
When I was in Mississippi. When I was a young girl, I imagined big things.
You did. So
I didn't
big
imagine.
Thinker.
I was always a big thinker. I had a huge imagination. I was always like, when I get out of Mississippi, even though I love Mississippi and going back, when I get out of Mississip,i I'm gonna do something amazing in this world. And I never knew. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
But
it came
believe
true.
me, I have gratitude every day for what I have.
That is
every day.
Beautiful.
I'm still humbled when someone comes up and wants a picture, an autograph. I'm still very humbled by that.
Right. I'm so humble and lucky that I got to have you on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah. Thank you.